Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Boynton Beach, Florida, right here in Palm Beach County. Thanks for joining me today on my video about Social Security. In my channel, you will find many Social Security videos. This one is a little bit different because I've got some new information as the year is closing out for 2023. And if you're approaching that retirement age of 62 years old, a lot of people don't even know you can collect Social Security at 62. They think about the number 65 because they hear about Medicare, and then maybe they've also heard about, you would never even contemplate Social Security until you're what they call FRA, full retirement age, or when you can get that extra money by waiting and deferring. So let's just keep it basic here. I'm going to be 65 years old in a few weeks, December 29th. So if you'd like to write that down, send me some happy birthday wishes, that'd be lovely. Anyway, I tell all my friends in a joking way that I'm going to be 70 in 5 years. When they ask me how old I am. All right, let's get back to the serious part. No time for jokes, right? When I started collecting my Social Security at the earliest age of 62 years old, which was like a long time ago, because now I'm going to be 65. Had I waited until this year, or if I had waited until I was 63, or if I want to wait another year until I'm 66, Social Security will give you a bigger amount on your check. If you wait until your full retirement age, and we're going to go ahead and use full retirement age as the age of 67, okay? Because it's 66 and 8 months for me, but today, most people are going to be full retirement age around 67 years old. So if you wait until you're 67 years old, there is this widespread information that you get more money, and if you take your Social Security earlier, you get less money. Well, I'm here to tell you folks that that is a lie. That is a scam, and that is what the government would like you to do. They'd like you to wait and maybe never collect your Social Security because they don't want to give it to you. They just want to take. They took your taxes, you paid into it, and then now you're 62 and you're eligible to get your free money. That's what I call it, your money that you paid in. But they dangle a little shell game trick on the end of a stick here and tell you, oh, don't collect it now, wait and we'll give you more money and you'll be better off. And then they try to even deter you, because they say if you collect it early, we're even going to penalize you, because if you make more money than you're allowed for a few years until you're that age we want you to wait till, we're gonna penalize you. So they do everything in their power to deter people from collecting Social Security at 62 years old, and it works. Most people in my comments, not most, a few of the people in my comments are still hell-bent on believing that they should wait until their full retirement age for this reason or that reason, for their survivor benefits, so their spouse can get a bigger check, when they don't realize that the spouse has to wait till, they have to wait until their full retirement age to get this bigger amount that they're trying to save up for. They don't get it, right away. They have to be also old, and that's basically what the government wants you to do. They want you to wait till you're old and almost dead and out of here before they have to start paying you. Well, now let's just clear the table here, and let me tell you what I think everyone in America that's going to turn 62 years old should do. And that is get your money. In fact, I've said before on all my videos that there's only one reason, and one reason only, that you shouldn't collect your Social Security at 62 years old, and that is you're making so much money and you just love your job and you don't want to quit working, and so it wouldn't do you any good anyway, because with that penalty they have, they would take your Social Security away, but you would get it back later at full retirement age. But for that one reason only, I had a comment the other day that it was a very profound comment. They said, I was working 40 to 50 hours a week making X dollars, and now I collect my Social Security at 62. I only work 10 or 15 hours a week or part-time, and I make the same amount of money because I have my Social Security coming in. And so that's really what I'm trying to tell people to do is quit your job. If it's a job you don't care to be in, quit that job and start getting your check, because what you get from Social Security and work less, like part-time, you make the same amount of money as you would if you just didn't collect your Social Security and you kept going, double the hours at work to make the same amount of money. Why do that? Why keep working from 62 years old full time when you can cut it in half or less and make the same amount of money by having the government pay you your money that you paid in, and then you just make the difference up of what you were already making, or maybe even a little bit less. Maybe you've done well, you've saved some money, you have a pension, and you have some other things that are also available to you. Now, a really big key component to doing anything I'm talking about at any age, even at full retirement age of 67 years old, you need to be able to be a person at that age that doesn't owe anybody anything. You need to get yourself as close to debt-free as you can, because once you do select a limited income and you select the option of supplementing that income by working a little bit, because your income could be less, you don't need all these bills. I mean, it doesn't work. So get yourself debt-free. If you're in your 50s right now, make it your goal so that you can enjoy your life, that final chapter in your life, by not having to work till you're 70 years old, full-time at some job where they're micromanaging you, and then they take the taxes out. You're still paying in Social Security taxes and all these kinds of things. So I said earlier in the video, you can actually make more money than you can by waiting. All right, explain that. I will, very quickly and very simply, that even a 5-year-old can understand it. Even I can understand it. I collect $1,750 a month from Social Security as of January of next year, with the little raise we got of about $50. Okay? And if you multiply that times 12 months, next year I will draw from this government free money, $21,000 in my bank account. My money I paid in based on my best 35 years of earnings. I'm getting $1,750 a month, 21 grand a year. In the time that you wait, if you're one of these people that want to believe in waiting until you're 67 years old, you're going to leave $105,000 on the table that I would have collected. When I reach your age, or when I reach the age of 67, I will have already received $105,000 plus my part-time work that I'm going to be doing. Folks, that $105,000 is based on never getting an additional penny raise on my Social Security. We're going to keep it simple here. Of course it's going to go up every year. There's a cost of living adjustment called COLA that they give us every year, although it doesn't amount to much, so it probably won't change much. But anyway, let's just say that the $1,750 is what it's going to be until I die. It's never going to be another penny, just so we can keep the math right. So that's 21 grand a year and $105,000 that I would have collected before you see your first check, because you believe that the government says, wait, don't collect every month for 5 years. Let us keep that money. Let us send it over to Sarasota to Tim. And you keep working and paying taxes into us. That's what we want you to do. Well, I say bull. I say you get your money, because guess what? When you become 67, full retirement age, and you get that big check, guess how much it is? It's $500 more. By waiting 5 more years, you get like $100 more a year. Is that worth it to you for $500 and to lose $105,000? Not to mention all your best years of your final chapter in your life from 62 years old till 67. At 62 years old, the needle's about midway. A little over, actually, right? With the average age being 78. dying in the country here as a male. So you're already, they got the needle over here. You're already like that close to the ground before you go 6 feet under. Well, why would you want to push the needle all the way over to here and then start retiring and collecting a check and leaving $105,000 on the table? Why would anybody do that? Because they're under this brainwashing that this bigger money and keep working and not having an income limit and all this other baloney that they push down your throat that you read online, that all these investment companies that have you want to keep investing with them so they can keep making commission, and all these accountants and stuff like that, they all make money on you waiting. Yeah, it's all about the money. It's always about the money. So listen to me. You quit that job at 62 and you start working part-time. You go down to 10 to 20 hours a week and you make the difference in getting your Social Security. And then what do you got? First of all, you've got 5 years of living free, a lot more freedom, and you're young. You can still go out and do all the things that you wanted to do that you've been planning all your life to do. Why wait till, like I say, you're that much closer to falling into the hole that's 6 feet down? Plus, you never know what could happen between 62 and 67 health-wise. You could develop all kinds of diseases and things if you even make it to 62. I mean, people are dropping dead left and right in their 40s, 50s. We read about it every day. Nobody is promised tomorrow. That's one of the biggest reasons. Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons, because nobody's promised tomorrow. So the $105,000 I'm going to have over 5 years, and the freedom I'm going to have, and the health that I have, and the all the things that I get to do for 5 years that I don't have to go to a prison job anymore and do, is worth even twice the $105,000. I've been retired now since I was 62. I'm going to be 65 in a few weeks. And I have gone and done lots of things that I couldn't do. And I was self-employed and worked my own hours, which I'm kind of self-employed now. That's kind of what I do on a side hustle. And you will still have to work, because $1,750 is not enough to live on, even with no debt. You have to supplement it. So if you don't have a pension, if you don't have a will that somebody left you a lot of money, if you don't have a huge savings, if you don't have other monies, you're going to have to continue to do something. But guess what? You can do what you choose to do. Maybe you're just really good at detailing cars. Maybe you just like to sit at a golf course and hand out keys to people coming in for a golf cart. Maybe you just want to sit at a front desk in the air conditioning and answer the phone 2 or 3 days a week and draw you a check just to get you out of the house and to make another couple of $1,000s a month or $1,500 a month, equal to your Social Security amount, doubling your amount, and that's a game changer. So that's the beauty of collecting the check early, is you can now retire even earlier. Because if you wait till you're 67, you're still going to have to either work, or you're going to have to have all this money I mentioned a moment ago in the bank. How can anyone just start collecting Social Security and get $500 more by waiting 5 years, still not have to supplement it without a lot of money in the bank or without working? So, and working is healthy, keeps you young. But really, before I continue and give you the numbers here of how it's actually more money than less money, you really need to be cognizant of your health. You really need to realize that nobody's promised tomorrow. And why would you, if you see a $20 bill on the ground and you're walking down the street, why would you let it lay there and say, oh no, maybe tomorrow when I walk by, that'll be a 50? No, you pick it up. You do what you can do, because these are the good old days. Folks, look what's changed in our country in the last 3 or 4 years. With the pandemic and all these things that have happened, the Great Reset, all these new prices. Who knows, with all these world rumors of wars and stuff, who knows what we're going to have? Like I said, these are the good old days. And I can remember when things were way different back in the day. So day one, I would collect my Social Security at 62. Now, the less is more. That's right. The less check is more money. All right. Get you a pen and paper and follow along with me. Or break out your calculator on your iPhone or whatever you got and follow along. Prove me wrong, okay? $17.50 a month is what my new check amount's going to be in January of 2024. I get $50 more. Times 12 months is $21,000 a year that's going to come into my bank if I just laid in bed all day. I get $21,000. That's great. In 5 years, when you're still working, I would have drawn $105,000. Now, if we take the $21,000 I'm going to make, and remember it's not going to go up any. We're using the math as it will never change. Okay? For the next 18 years, from 62 until 80 years old, I will, if I live to be 80 years old, a couple of years past the average age, I will have collected $378,000 from Social Security, plus whatever I can earn and buy and sell, or however I can make some extra money. But free money coming to me, guaranteed, unless things change, $378,000 will have come into my bank account over 18 years by collecting it from day one until 80 years old. Now let's take the person that's also going to get $1,700 if they collect today, but they wait 5 years. And so they go all the way up to $500 more, and they get $2,250 a month. Okay? And then times 12 months, they're going to be getting $27,000 a year. And if you take them out till they're 80 years old, well, they don't get 18 years, they only get 13 years because they waited. And now, in 13 years, at the higher amount, the $500 more, at $27,000 a year, they draw a total of $351,000 less, $27,000 less, or $125 less every month, you know, for 18 years on average. But anyway, folks, why would you want to collect $27,000 less, lose $105,000 for the first 5 years, keep working, lose your youth, lose your health potentially, lose opportunities, and then you get to the point where your attitude and your life is like, you know what, 5 years ago, I would have done this or that. I thought about doing all these wonderful things, this travel, doing this or doing that, camping, and you know, I'm just speaking about what I'm doing in my life. I bought a travel trailer, I live in it, I'm traveling around sometimes. And why would you want to get to a point to where at 67, you're only 3 years away from being 70 years old, you're a lot less, you know, you have less strength, you look older, you act older, you feel older, for the most part, most people, not everybody. And get $27,000 less in your lifetime. So where is this big money, the $500 that they promised to give you, and how is that going to add up over 13 years more than someone that collects it at 62 years old that takes the $500 less? And it's not less. It's not a lesser amount. It's the amount. It's the amount that you're entitled to. But they want to call it less because they're trying to con you into not taking it so they can give you $27,000 less money if you live to be 80 years old. Or even less than that if you want to be conned into waiting until you're that 70 years old. And don't forget, if you're one of these people that are waiting to collect at 67 because you want to get this big amount, this $500 more, just so your spouse can collect a bigger amount if you died, don't forget, folks, they don't get it unless they get old. They have to wait until they're 67, full retirement age, to get that bigger check that you're going to wait 5 years for. If you die at 67, after you've drawn your big check for $500 more, and your spouse is only 60, they can collect on it because they can collect as early as 60 years old. But it's 71.5% of what your amount is. It's not the full retirement age. They have to wait until their full retirement age. So the government puts the whammy on them too. So here you are thinking, oh, I'm working, I'm going to get this bigger amount, and when I die, because I'm married to a younger woman or a younger man, then they're going to get more money. Well, no, they're not. Not unless they wait until they're old too, and they're that closer to the ground. So you see, there's no reason to wait. And if you work when you're at 62, like I do, and you work for yourself, I don't care if it's sewing dresses, polishing headlights, detailing cars, running a YouTube channel, babysitting, whatever it is, if you're self-employed, your income limit is not limited to the amount that the Social Security says that you can make. If you go to work for Jack in the Box or Publix, yes, you get a W-2, that's the most you can make, and without facing penalties. And that's just for a few years. But still, the amount that they give you to make, plus what you're going to get, is over $40-something thousand a year. That's a lot of money. And you probably wouldn't owe that much in taxes, because with the standard deduction versus someone that keeps working and they're making, you know, $60,000 or $70,000 a year or $100,000 a year, they're just paying a lot of income taxes, and they're still paying in their Social Security. And do you know this? The average income in America is 60 grand per household, the median income. The average income per individual is only $30-something thousand, right at 40. So you're making the same amount of money. Not everybody out there is making 75 or 100 grand a year. Are you? Heck no, probably not. I know I never did. So I'm living on $17.50 a month, plus what money I get from YouTube, plus what money I get if that runs out on some job that I'll get. But guess what it's going to be? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to do something. I worked for myself for 33 years. I'm going to do something that I want to do. I'm not going to go to work for some slave job where I got to be there at 4 in the morning, stack some shelves, and work 40 hours or work in the heat because I live in Florida. I'm going to choose what I want to do and work the hours that I want to work, because I have that option and I already have money coming in. And I'm not broke either. You know, when I retired at 62, I had my own business for 33 years. I did save some money. I don't have a pension because I work for myself, and I didn't, you know, flip houses and do all this other stuff to create all this wealth. I've just been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I do very well. I'm comfortable, I should say. And I'm a minimalist anyway. It's a less is more game with me. As long as I got 100 in my pocket and I can do what I want to do within reason, that's all I care about. The most important thing to me is time off, living in a free country as a free person, and staying healthy. That's what's important to me. It's not about amassing wealth, owning 10 houses, having the latest and greatest car, and keep signing up for more and more debt, paying and paying and paying, where I'm in a prison that I can't get out of. You know, a lot of these people that drive around and live in these big homes, they want to flash how much money they got. They got a lot of bills is what they got. They got debt, they got payments. And man, if the bottom falls out in the economy, or they lose their business, or they get sick and they can't keep those payments going, what do you think is going to happen to all that stuff? It's going to be foreclosure, it's going to be bankruptcy, it's going to be, bang out of the game is what it's going to be. So if you're watching me and you're approaching the age of 62, get your Social Security. You can apply 3 months before you turn 62, and then they give you your check, your first check, 2 months after, because you have to actually be 62 plus 30 days to be eligible. And then they give you your next check 30 days later. So it's 5 months planning. You get 3 months ahead where you can apply, so you can get it at 2 months after. So you can go online, it's very simple. You don't have to go to the Social Security office. You can put all your information in and start getting your Social Security at your 62nd birthday plus 2 months. So remember, $378,000 is what I'm going to collect over 18 years if I never got another penny. And last year we got an 8.7% bump. This year we got 3.2%. Maybe the economy will be so terrible that they'll have to give us another big raise, because last year was the biggest one we've had in 40 years. But maybe in the next couple of years, there'll be another big bump to keep up with the cost of living, or they'll change the COLA, the way they rate it on the inflation, to different criteria, so that it will go up. And that'll be a bonus, because the sooner you start collecting your money, and if they change it to where they get even more, that's even more money you're going to have. So likely I'm going to see well north of 400 grand for the rest of my life And I've already been collecting, let's see, I'm going to be 65 for 3 years. So I've already collected, going on 70 grand. And it's been welcomed and it's just like clockwork, man. It goes right in your bank. You wake up, you can look at your thing at like 12:30 a.m. and your money is there. And then you're going to work, you get these checks every week or however they pay you every 2 weeks. You got the Social Security thing, you've already got your overhead covered, you got your food, you got your rent maybe. You're living free. Everything that you're making at your job is just for some spending money, to save, to buy clothing, and pay your insurance and all your whatever your bills are. But your bills need to be gone, less. But you can't ever get away from rent or HOA or property taxes or car insurance or clothing and food, utilities. These are things that you have to pay for the rest of your life. But if you have only that, that's not very big of a nut to cover. So get yourself down to being debt-free, get your check at 62, enjoy that health that you have, because if you died at 65, at least you drew for a few years. I know so many stories have been told to me in my comments about people that wanted to wait till they were 67 and never saw the first check. Or they started drawing at 67 and got one check. I mean, what is the point? It's about the health. It's not really about the money, even though the money is important because you get more. And why would you want to just, every 30 days you wait is less money you're going to get over your lifetime. And then remember, I'll finish the video with this. You're only limited on your income for about 3 years of the 5-year difference they want you to wait. And then after that, on the last year you become full retirement age, you're able to make, like right now, well over $50,000. If I was becoming 66 and 8 months, my full retirement age, in 2024 next year, I could earn next year over $55,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, and not be penalized. So you only got a first few years, and then after my full retirement age birth date, I can make all I want with no penalty whatsoever. I would still probably owe income taxes based on when I could reduce my adjusted gross income. But folks, don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't collect. And as far as the getting the insurance, this is what everybody always comments on. Well, what do you do about health insurance? Folks, I never had health insurance my entire life. Wow. At least that didn't take long. That thing was moving. I never had health insurance my entire life. I've been self-employed, and I've been a healthy person. If you work for an employer and you have employee insurance, you're already spending out of your income $400, $500, $600 a month for your health insurance. So you can either call it quits, draw your Social Security, and get on Obamacare. If your income is low, the government will supplement the Affordable Care Act insurance policy for you. You can take a catastrophe policy. You can go without. That's completely your call. But I can tell you what Sarasota Tim's going to do, and I'm not going to leave a $20 bill laying on the table. I'm not going to leave $105,000 on the table for the government to keep because of some health insurance policy. And all the time, and all I can tell you is, I'm not going to leave $105,000 laying on the table to keep working to keep some insurance policy that's costing me $400 to $600 a month. Not going to do it. I'm going to get my money, and I'm going to work a little bit, and I'm going to live a free life, and I'm going to do the things I've always wanted to do while I can do it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to crush it.